One second. This is a very comfortable chair, but it's moving a little bit too much. Buonasera, buongiorno, salve. I don't know where you are, but hello there. You thought I wouldn't be back, but I came back. I'm on YouTube again. Let's just challenge ourselves to long form video and get to know each other a little bit better. Today I will be speaking about business, motivation, discipline, and all of those little questions that you've sent me. I have them right here. First question says, what did you study? I graduated from university in sciences of economics, which it depends on the country. They call differently, but it's basically economics, marketing, and finance. Someone just asked me if I want to create a watch brand for women. I mean, no. However, I love watches. As you might see from my Instagram, I'm a big watch lover and I love quality by being Swiss Italian, of course. Growing up with the watch culture, I caught the bug. So, watches are one of my guilty pleasures and one of my, let's say, vices or passions, depending on how you look at it. Is there a second book coming soon? No, not for now. I can see that you're still liking my first book, Why You Should Empower Yourself, and I see that a lot of people are asking me for a second book. However, I'm not ready. I'm not ready because I feel like the first book is working really well still. And there's a lot of subjects to cover, and writing a book from scratch is not a small endeavor. So I'll think about it. Maybe something along the lines, but not exactly a book. Should you attend business talks and events and seminars? Yes, absolutely you should, but within reason. I feel like business talks and, events are great for networking if you do have a goal. So if you're raising money or you're looking for a co-founder or you're looking for clients, then absolutely networking in those events ad hoc is one of the best things you can do for your business. However, don't overdo it, because what operations require is definitely not to be in and out of seminars. At least for me, I've noticed that I work much better when I am not disturbed by external events and people and meetings. I'm not a meeting person. Don't get me wrong. Of course, they're necessary, and sometimes meetings can be extremely useful. However, for me, I'm an introvert. Working, actually producing or working, creating is better when I have the space for it and the time for it and the inspiration and maybe the solitude sometimes. I do have my team, but I also have some times in which I need to work alone and be left alone to be the most productive and the most focused. So I would say yes to seminars and to networking events. However, within reason. Focus on your business and your product and your service first, and then go out in the world promoting it. Hi, I'm a night owl too, but I try to fight it. How do you not fight it and just live? Well, I've tried to fight it. I've tried to change the time I sleep, and I do sleep late and I wake up late. But I've always been like that since I was a child. And luckily, by building my own digital business, I have enough flexibility to be able to work late and to be able to work in the afternoon. So I can sleep in the morning. I understand that that's not for everyone, and not everybody has the luxury to have such a job. And there are techniques to slowly shift your sleep to an earlier time, including, meditation, yoga, less screens and less bright lights, avoiding completely bright lights in the night. I'm sinning right now because I'm talking to you and it's extremely late and I have a bright light in my eyes. So I shouldn't be doing this. So don't do what I did if you want to sleep early. But yeah, I just accepted who I am and adapted everything around it. And I'm just naturally much, much more productive at night. And I'm not going to fight it. If, it works for me, it works for me. I can, produce content at night. I can write, I can do my consulting work, I can review contracts, and sometimes even calls, because depending on the time zone, sometimes I get lucky and the deals are in the right time zone for me to be able to work at night. But of course, there are these moments in which you have to go to an event or to a meeting or to a breakfast meeting. The thing I hate the most is a breakfast meeting. Please don't ever invite me to a breakfast meeting if you don't want to hurt me. Or an early flight, those ones. I suffer. But other than that, if I can be left alone and sleep late, I'm the happiest bunny out there. I want to start a business, make organic food, and create videos, but I don't know how. You just described it, girl. You want to make organic food and create videos. So just do it. Get the ingredients, figure out the recipes, create the food, and create a setup to film it while you do it. That's all. Sometimes, we complicate things a lot, but it's always trial and error in everything, and not everything will work out, but it doesn't matter. It's all about starting and maybe get inspiration from people who already did it before you. Write a little plan. It doesn't have to be too elaborate. Write a little bit of an agenda, a planner of how you're going to do it, what days, what time, how many times a week, where you're going to post it. And then just go for it. And one thing will lead to another, because things come to doers. And it's all about taking action in business, in career, in content creation. It's those who win are not the perfectionists who sit and try to perfect everything they do. The ones who really win are the ones who take the leap and then improve along the way. So I would say, when you are not fully ready, but almost ready, go for it. Please add some beauty, makeup, and wellness tips. I will, but I'll do a different video. Next one, promise. Next video will be a beauty one. Today, I'll just give you one single beauty tip, and it is cut out people who drain your energy. I don't care who they are. If you're feeling they're constantly disrespecting you and making you feel bad, or they're just energy vampires, cut them out. That is a career advice, but also a skincare and beauty and wellness advice. All in all, you'll see your life and your beauty skyrocket once you cut out the stress and the drama and the negativity, or even just subtle envy, or people who really don't want the best for you. How many hours a day do you dedicate to your business, and how do you organize your day? I love planners. Give me 1 second. Might be able to show you something. Planners are me, and I am planners. This is how I go around. And, productivity. This is one that doesn't have dates in it, but you can write them in. This is a huge one, daily planner at Moleskine. And this one is from Muji, and the 2024 planner. I am obsessed with planners and agendas. And they make me happy, and they help my business so much. And yes, I write by hand. I think I'm crazy, but it really works for me. And sometimes I take pictures and digitize it just in order not to lose all of the things that I wrote. It would be a disaster if I lose one of these. But how I plan? Well, usually I plan the week on a Sunday, write down everything I need to do. Obviously, events, travel, and long-term plans are also written, maybe months before, or even a year before, depending on how far away it's been planned. But for the week, usually meeting-wise, I plan on a Sunday. Then every single night, I plan the next day ahead as well and see what I've achieved. I also have a productivity planner, which marks the time that I take to do every task, and usually it takes longer than you would expect. We're always very optimistic about our time. So it's good to learn how much time it takes you to do every task, and write down what you expected for the task to take. And what it actually took for you. And it's very, very important to prioritize. So you write down all of the things you need to do and you reorganize them in order of priority. Start from this most difficult one. I know that's a trick that I wish I knew earlier in my life, because I'm a procrastinator, believe it or not. So I love to do all of the little tasks around the main task and not to do the main task. Why? Because probably the main task is tougher to do or it's emotionally more loaded. So I just do everything else. I could clean my whole house in order to avoid to send that document or reread that contract that is difficult or something. So what I learned to do is to eat the elephant from the head. So instead of starting bit by bit, I usually go for the toughest part and try to tackle that one. Once you tackle that, everything else is in discesa, it's downhill. What is your core business? You do many things. How do you manage your time? All right, so I do many things, and it depends on the period of the year. It changes, you know. Content creation is not just content creation, it's constant and consistent, but then it also involves obviously brand deals. So that is one. Second one would be video monetization. So you always have to create enough content for the week or the month for it to be running. One is consulting. So branding consulting, digital consulting, marketing consulting, those take time because not only I have to delegate certain presentations and analysis that I have to do for the clients, but I also have to have my own, face-to-face Zoom calls with clients to catch up, to figure out where we're at, what's missing, how we're progressing, and how successful we are with everything we're doing. And there is obviously the event part. It's either public speaking or fashion shows or red carpet events. They usually sponsored, but that's not the point. The point is that you actually have to make time for it and travel to the destination. Not everything is where I live. Most of it isn't. I work a lot all over the world and a lot in Europe. So I travel a lot. So the travel days are completely different from my home days, but the days I shoot my content are also very randomized. It's impossible to predict. I don't have a typical week. It doesn't exist. And it's dynamic. And there's a lot of other business projects happening. And those are a lot of fun because obviously it's creative and you create, new opportunities every time. And then it could be a 6-month project. It could be a forever project. But one constant for what I do is definitely content creation. That has always been there, as you might see. I have never stopped. I have so many, over 10,000 posts on Instagram or something like that. And then sometimes, of course, there's also press requests. I also write myself as a guest writer for magazines and newspapers. And then sometimes people interview me, depending on the occasion and opportunity. So those ones are also part of what I do. So yeah, there's a lot. And I'm just used to it, I would say. And I prioritize in order of, urgency and importance. I just like it. I love entrepreneurship. I love digital entrepreneurship. I absolutely love the relationship with you guys. I love my job. For me, it's wonderful. And I think I'm very, very lucky. And I do love to work hard. Don't get me wrong. You might look at it as, these content creators, they do nothing, they get everything. It is not true. All of the content creators that I personally know that are successful are the hardest working people I know. I know people who wake up at 4 a.m. to create content and then have a whole day of work and then have an event and they don't stop. And it does look glamorous, but no, they work really hard. It's a job and you need to love it. You need to have a passion for it. That's one of the things, but definitely my biggest passion is entrepreneurship and creativity and aesthetics. So yeah, I would say a mix of that. How much time do I spend at home versus traveling? Wow, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I'm always on the go. But I'll tell you that being at home for me, it's like a gift when I can just be on my couch, have a chamomile tea, and listen to an audiobook or just binge watch something or even just scroll TikTok or talk on the phone. I am the happiest. So, yeah, sweatpants and no makeup and no travel. But yeah, I travel a lot. And, when COVID happened and I couldn't, I realized how much I needed, how much I love seeing new cities and meeting new people and observing, the differences in culture and mentality. And it gives me energy and it gives me life. And I love to work everywhere. And I love the opportunity to be able to do it. So I cannot complain about it at all. I'm very grateful. And I do have a lot of energy for it and a lot of love for it. However, I have an obsessive dream, occurring obsessive dream of losing my luggage. This is very understandable that I am so scared of losing it, but it's such an obsessive dream. Every time I remember a dream, there's something about luggage in there. It's just so, and planes. Yeah, so I guess it's something that is very much part of me, and it also stressing me out somehow. So I'm very like apprehensive and worried. And it's a little bit funny, but also, how do you get rid of it? Do I just live with it forever? Any tips for someone who's trying to grow their following? I would say video content, and I would say personality. What I mean by that is you have to be yourself, and it has to shine through the screen. And so, if it's TikTok or Instagram, it depends where you're growing your following, what platform. It could be even YouTube or Snapchat. It is all about consistency. And don't worry if at the beginning you have no traction. It is all about posting and posting and posting. As soon as you see that one of the videos got traction, repeat the formula. That is the one for you. Do it again and again. That is why I say you have to choose your niche wisely. Because imagine if you start making a million videos on many, many subjects, and by mistake, the algorithm picks up a video, I don't know, on a subject that you don't really care about. Then what are you going to do? You're going to go viral for it and that repeat something you don't really care about? That is why you have to be yourself and you have to do what you like and do a lot of it until one of the videos, one of these pieces of content starts getting traction, and it will. You'll get picked up. It's just a question of time and consistency. Are you planning to do a workshop class on business? It is such a good question. On digital, maybe. I haven't thought about it properly. I'd have to structure it. I need to figure out where and how, but it would be great, wouldn't it? Let's just start talking here on YouTube. But yeah, I've been asked many, many times because I do a lot of on-stage public speaking to create a workshop. So it might be in the plans. How do you overcome internal resistance? Oof, this is a tough one. I have so much of that, and I always have to overcome it. And guess what? There is no trick. You just have to go right through it. And don't think too much about what you gotta do. If you have a plan, you stick to it and you just do it. Basically, you know what you gotta do. Don't start thinking about it. You already have it there. Do the task. Just do it. Just do the task. Don't think about it. Even if you're feeling uncomfortable, you have to get through it. And that's how you overcome internal resistance. You have to become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. The ability of doing uncomfortable things is what's gonna distinguish you from your competition. Quanto pensi sia importante una bella presenza nei social di un'impresa tecnica d'architettura? Allora, how important it is to basically have a nice social presence, social media presence for a technical enterprise? I think for any business, you must have digital presence. We live in a time and day that you have to take control of your branding, of your image, because if you don't do it yourself, the internet will do it for you, and you don't want that. You want to have control of all of your handles, so make sure you register all of your handles before starting and make sure they are available, all of your domains, all of your trademarks and brand names and everything. It's unavoidable, so you'll have to take care of it. Tutte queste corse per la carriera, riesci a trovare tempo per l'amore? If I have time for love, of course I have time for love. Love gives me energy and it gives me the drive to work harder. I love love and I love to feel in love, and I have a lot of love to give. So for me, it's very, very, very important. I am somebody who works better when my everything, in terms of love at large in my life, is good. I definitely can focus more, and it's easier for me to really be focused on work. And those people who tell me, oh, I don't have time for love because I have to work, maybe you don't have time for drama, because that's different. Love and drama are not the same thing. What's your difficulty in building your own channel and personal branding? You have to know what you stand for initially in terms of personal branding. So what are your core values? And then how you're going to express them, how you're going to convey them. Even just how someone dresses or how someone looks or talks does convey a certain message. It always does. Even the colors you choose and the makeup you wear. Definitely anything you do will express a certain image and a certain message to the people who are watching. Business can be draining and take a chunk out of your day. How do you balance your day? It's so true, but it also gives me energy. How do I relax? I like to take a bath with nice salts. I love to do some sports. I love Pilates. I do have a few sports devices and machines at home. I have a bike that allows me to do re-hit workouts, so like very fast sprints in only a few minutes, so that helps a lot if I'm at home. Also, I have a portable sauna, and just taking a walk sometimes is the best thing, and talking on the phone or listening to good music. Those things are, irreplaceable, because the connection to light and nature and people is what really helps rebalance out that energy for me. Oh yeah, and I forgot the last one. If I really, really need to recharge, then I go dancing, actually dancing, Latin dancing. And yeah, that is the way I recharge. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. I'm not a YouTuber, so I'm just gonna say very spontaneously, I don't know where it is, but subscribe. And I'm gonna start doing these little Q&As on very different subjects, very spontaneous ones, very regularly. So let's do this.